And we are live. Let me
I'm so excited.
Okay, let me get the link on YouTube before some people start showing up. If anyone shows up.
If anyone, we've sat here just talking to ourselves before.
It has happened. But Allie liked it, at least, so.
Well, at least we entertained one person. That's all we need in our lives. Damn, I didn't get my note card, so I could call you boring without saying you're boring.
We're not doing sprints, so you can talk the whole time.
I know, but I'd still like the little note cards. Just hold them up.
Okay. Whew, Lord.
Lordy, 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 have some mercy.
Yay, is someone here?
Could
Hello?
be you.
It could be Mason. Mason sits on it.
I'm not on it.
It could be me because I just went on and went off, but we will see.
Yeah.
Hello, if anyone is here. Hello, we have definitely a couple people now. Hello.
Wow,
Make
shocking.
yourselves known if you want. No pressure. You can lurk. I lurk a lot at all the live streams I go to, pretty much. If you don't know us, this is my channel. I'm Selena from Selena Reads. We have start the book thing. Is that Allie?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's Allie. Allie? Hello, Allie. Then we have Mason and we have Rae. They're both from my Discord. Mason is my boyfriend. You want to say your pronouns?
He, him.
He, him pronouns. Rae, do you want to say your pronouns? Okay, use anything, I guess. And then she, her for me. And then so basically what this is going to be is I thought it would be fun to do the end of year survey live. So it'll be up on my channel. So if you're not watching live, then you can watch later at a later time. Allie, come on. It might be, it still is Allie. Oh, I don't know. But
You good?
pretty much,
Okay.
we are going to be doing the end of year survey. Excuse me, Rae. Excuse me.
He's more important. Oh, he left. Okay.
Okay, we're doing the end of year survey, which is pretty much wrapping up the year. So let's get going. Even though it doesn't look like. Okay. So it doesn't look like anyone's here. Oh, there's Dylan. Okay. So what is everyone's best book you read in 2021? And if you're watching, commenting, tell us your best book of the year. Including you, Dylan, and Allie, if you're there. What's your best book, Rae? Do you need a moment to think? Okay. So, Mason, what's your best book?
As for books that I wasn't rereading, it would definitely be Peter Darling by Austen Chant.
We have a whole review on the channel about Austen Chant.
It kind of went on for a very long time.
45 freaking minutes. Malice 3 or Bewilderment by Richard Powers. I do not know what Bewilderment is. That's really interesting. What is Bewilderment? And then, do anything else you want to say about?
Thank you, Allie. That was also a very good read for me.
This gives it away that it's Allie. Allie from the Discord is obsessed with My Sweet Audrina, and yeah. So yeah, best book of the year. Oh, and The Wise Man's Fear. Just finished that. That was good. But so, do you have anything else you want to say about Peter Darling?
Trans.
It was trans.
Trans.
Okay.
He trans. We trans.
Okay. Cool. We'll be looking forward to it. My favorite book of the year is The Sword of Kaigen or The Name of the Wind.
Yeah.
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 So kind of similar to Allie. What Allie said with The Wise Man's Fear. Okay, should we wait for Rae or should we go on?
Who knows?
I say we go on and we ask her the questions when she comes back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a book you were excited about and thought you were going to love but didn't. Do we need the Goodreads up? I think we might need the Goodreads up.
Well, I've already had the Goodreads up.
Where's my phone?
Did you leave it downstairs?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to guess.
Okay.
So I have, I'm gonna say 2. One of them was Outlawed by Anna North. That one I really expected to just love because it sounded so interesting, but then sorry, I'm laughing what Ali said. It was supposed to be interesting, but instead I was just kind of slugging through it, or slogging through it. Which one is it? I don't know.
Slogging.
I was slogging through it. And the other one I would say is The Bride Test by Helen, is it Huang?
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Because I was expecting to love that one because I loved the first one so much, and I did end up loving the last one. But that one in the middle, I just...
Were you not expecting to love Piranesi?
No, I was expecting to tolerate Piranesi, and I assume there's going to be a worst books of the year one. So
I don't know. But Rae, okay, so first of all, Dylan says Rae Bear. I really want to read Rae Bear, so this is not promising. Not promising. But Rae, so we were talking about best. We talked about best book of the year. So what's your best book of the year?
Talk?
No, best book of the year. Would that be like Jurassic Park?
Shit. I'm thinking maybe My Best Friend's Exorcism or Whisper Down the Lane.
Whisper Down the Lane. I was gonna guess that one. Those are 2 horror books that Rae highly recommends. And then what's a book you thought you were gonna love but didn't, Rae?
The Lost World.
The Lost World?
Uh-huh. It was good, but no.
But you gave it 5 stars.
It's good. And I'm biased.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was just...
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that. That's one for me, actually. The Lost World. I love Jurassic Park so much, and I thought I was going to love it, but The Lost World, I did not love at all. It was like, Lost World did like everything Jurassic Park did, but worse. You know?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, there were some good parts, but definitely.
Was the Ace rep in Rae Bear not good, Dylan? Or did you just not like the book overall? Or was it specifically the rep that you hated? Because if it's bad Ace rep, then maybe that won't be an amazing book to read. But I'm trying to think of others that I thought I was gonna love Piranesi, or I wanted to love Piranesi. I don't know if I thought I was gonna love it, but I wanted to love Piranesi.
No. See, I don't think I'm going to like love any book. I just kind of like, oh, this sounds interesting. It might be okay.
I hope I will love a lot of books, but I don't. It doesn't end up happening usually. Let me see if I can find like a 2 or 3 star from the year. Let's do 3 stars, because rarely a book is so bad that I give it 2 stars that I thought I was going to love. Oh, The Woman in Black is really recent. I thought I was going to love that book because I love gothic stuff. But The Woman in Black was just really disappointing to me. Like, it was just so like, it was like a I don't know. You know how like LaCroix is like a hint of a lime, you know? Like it's like very low flavor. Like that's kind of what The Woman in Black felt. Like was like low flavor gothic.
Did we do Hill House this year? Or last year?
We did Hill House this year.
That one, like it was so hyped, and then it was just disappointment all around. Like worse than Lost World. That one was just, you had such high hopes, and then another disappointment was Journey to the Center of the Earth. I was lied to.
Yeah, Rae thought because the Barnes & Noble edition of Journey to the Center of the Earth has dinosaurs on it, and Rae and I thought there wouldn't be dinosaurs. So I was like, Rae, we got to read this. It's classics, it's dinosaurs, and it was not that at all. But that's fair, Dylan. I hate when like I could see Ace Rep quickly becoming Token just because like it doesn't happen very often. Like it does, the rep doesn't, and a lot of people don't know how to do it right.
Just like life.
Sorry, Allie, I'm still laughing at your comment. Me trans, he trans, we trans, be trans.
Put that back up on. Okay, so let's see. Any others for me? There were really big disappointments. Library of the Unwritten wasn't too bad of it. Oh my God, Mason just reminded me of the biggest one ever. The biggest disappointment ever. Cytonic.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie's best books were Defy the Night, A Court of Silver Flames, and We Own the Night. Okay, I've never heard of We Own the Night. What is that book? Because Defy the Night I really want to read, and A Court of Silver Flames, I haven't read the other ones. But Mason might read the Court of Thorns and Roses series, so he might really like that one. But I haven't gotten into them, so I don't know. But I've never heard of We Own the Night. But
I think that one's new. Because I've been seeing
yeah. But my most disappointing that was like one that I thought I was gonna love, like way more than The Lost World, way more than Piranesi or anything else I've said, was Titanic by Brandon Sanderson. Because Skyward series is one of my favorite series ever, and the first two books I think are stellar. Like, I know for some people Titanic wasn't that big of a, I mean, it was a letdown, but it wasn't that big of a letdown because they were somewhat let down by Starsight. Because if you really like the character-driven, tight story that Skyward tells, Starsight is a change from that. But for me, it was a good change. Like, it was a great change. Hi, 70. And I loved Starsight. And then Titanic, I don't know what went wrong, but it just went wrong. It went way wrong. It was wrong. That was my least favorite thing. Stephanie, what are your least favorites? Or the second question is actually a book you were excited about and thought you were going to love more but didn't. Yep. Well, isn't that when the final book's coming out in 2023? Defiance coming out in 2023, not 2022, because he's going back to Mistborn Era 2. I like Skyward much more than Mistborn Era 2. But I know that's not always a popular opinion.
I have my answer for the next one.
Where did Rae go?
Bye, Rae.
Okay, what's your answer for the next one? Let's go to the next question then. Number 3, most surprising in a good way or bad way book that you read.
All right. So I don't know if she's still here, but I hope Allie is here for this.
There you go, Rae.
Because Allie is here to hear me say My Sweet Audrina. Because from the way that Allie described it to me, I was like, oh God, what am I getting myself into? This sounds... I couldn't tell if it was going to be a good trip or a bad trip. And it was a great trip. I love that book. But I was wary going in, perhaps because Allie only pointed out the grossest parts to share with us.
Oh gosh, yes. My Sweet Audrina is a gruesome book, it sounds like. And it's probably not all of that.
Well, I mean, it is gruesome, but
if you go into all of the things that happen in it, it just sounds like the most like triggering, like gross book ever.
But I recommend it. It was surprisingly good.
We Own the Night is a contemporary about a radio teacher. I feel like you've mentioned this before, Stephanie. Possibly. Bewilderment was a good surprise. Top 2 of the year. Okay, that's really good. The Name of the Wind was a little bit of a surprise for me because I thought it was possible that I would love it, but I also thought it was very possible that I would be really, really underwhelmed. And I'm really happy that didn't happen. And you Bewilderment, what you said about Bewilderment reminded me of that one because Name of the Wind is my top 2. Like, it is in my top 2. I can't tell whether it's 1 or 2 yet. Haven't done my best books of the year video. Rae, what is the most surprising in a good way or bad way book you read?
Oh, we're back to my best friend's exorcism and just...
Why was it surprising?
So there was a fad diet years ago, and it's mentioned in this book. And that fad diet is getting worm eggs.
Yeah.
And eating them.
Worms. Yeah.
Yeah. And the girl who got possessed gives one of her best friends. Holy shit, rolled wolves? Damn right. That was just a...
That was disappointment for us too, Stephanie. I didn't give it 4 stars. That isn't what I did, even though it was disappointing. Anyways, so why did this tapeworm make it the surprising in a good way for you, Rae?
So it was just like she's giving her these smoothies, and you're wondering what's the trick, because as the reader, you know it's that she's possessed. You know she's fucked up. Because she's also giving her, like her other friend, love letters from a priest.
Okay, so there's like a mystery this, the girl's possessed and she's doing all this stuff, and you're like, what can you hide in a smoothie?
Yeah, and it was the tapeworms. And like this poor chick ends up with one huge one. Like, she is skin and bones but looks 9 months pregnant. Because one of them got really, really big and she ends up in the hospital. Like, duh.
That's really gross.
Yeah, it was like really gross. And I'm just like, wow. So that's what it was.
So that was really surprising to you, the grossness and like the, okay.
And
but you also loved the book, which is funny.
It's one of my favorite books now.
Mm-hmm.
I need like 5 copies.
Okay. Other disappointments of Stephanie's We Free the Stars and The Righteous Rule of Wolves. Okay. Good surprises. Cass and Firelight, The Heartbreakers, Sometime After Midnight. Wait, I think I might know Sometime After. I don't know.
Look, I don't want to talk about Rule of Wolves. Like, that was
a mess. That was a bit of a disappointment too. But to me, I don't count that a disappointment because I expected it to be the way it was after King of Scars. Like, some people didn't, but I expected it to be that level of like
weird and just like broken.
Yeah, and I saw someone say like, she undoes all her lore that she's built up in the Grishaverse for Rule of Wolves. But I felt that way in King of Scars. I've been saying that, so I was like, she broke the thing. And Rule of Wolves was a better story, so it's like I wasn't as worried about the way she like broke everything she tried to do. Because it's like you already did that in King of Scars. Like you already tried it. And so now I expect it, and it's not my favorite, but still.
Yeah, because it's like, obviously she makes plans for another 6 of Crows just based off of the ending. But,
I also, definitely. She's definitely doing the 6 of Crows. She can't fool us with, it's not coming soon, but whatever. Anyways, Mason wants me to move on, but I want to say a good surprise that I really liked was actually Spinning Silver. It used to be my top 2, it used to be my second favorite book until I read Name of the Wind of the year, and Spinning Silver is now like number 3. So Spinning Silver was amazing, and then I also really, really liked Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rodgerson. And both of those I got ages ago, and they just sat on my shelves, and it was part of my goal to like read them this year, and I just didn't think I would like them as much.
Last year.
Oh yeah, last year. I was like, I'll just read them, get it over with, but I loved them. So yeah. That was my good surprises. Number 4 is a book you pushed the most people to read, and they actually did it. So what is a book that y'all have made people read in the last year?
Okay, so I've pushed a lot of books. I don't know if any of them have gotten actually read. But I pushed I pushed 2 books, I would say, and I got them as Christmas presents for 2 different people. So one of them is Peter Darling, like I already talked about. I pushed with a whole video with Selena. So I hope some of y'all are deciding to read it because it's like one of the best books ever invented on this planet. So that one, and then the other one was A Declaration of the Rights of Magicians. Because I gave that one to my grandfather for Christmas. So I don't know if he's read it yet, but I did actively push that one. I guess I also pushed Lena a little bit into reading The Library of the Unwritten, but the one I pushed her more to read. The one I pushed her more to read is Archive of the Forgotten, which is the second one, because I really want her to read that one. But
I haven't actually picked it up yet.
But I will say, does it count that I know it was a reread in 2021, but I have pushed many of people to read Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Yeah, that counts. I think also this year you pushed your mom to read The House in the Cerulean Sea, right?
That's true, I did.
And she actually read it and loved it. And so I pushed you to read The House in the Cerulean Sea. I'm pushing Skyward. I didn't read Skyward this year, but I pushed Skyward on both Rae and Mason. Mason's actually read it as of now. Rae has not. I've pushed Sword of Kaigen on Mason, and I'm pretty sure, I don't remember whether Udi and I buddy read it or I read it first, but I feel like I pushed Udi into reading it. I don't know. But maybe I don't think we buddy read it, but maybe. We could have buddy read. I don't remember. Let me think. What other books have I pushed? That might be about it. Let's see.
Ooh, okay. Well, maybe if you tell us in the Discord later or whenever you want more about bewilderment, maybe you'll convince a few other people. Because if it's that good, I like reading people's favorite books.
Yeah, if you need to push place to push books, my Discord is perfect. I don't know if Allie's still here, but My Sweet Audrina would definitely be hers for this.
Oh yeah, she's done 2 and is gonna get a 3rd because I'm making you.
Yeah, no, she has pushed 2 people in the Discord already to read not only My Sweet Audrina, but she has a whole read-along that she has started in the Discord for all of VC Andrews' work. So if you want to read any, like, messed up, like, gothic romance, I don't know.
Romance?
I've
read some of those books.
I mean, like, incest? No, I meant, like, in an older sense of romance. I guess gothic grossness, then join the Discord.
Anyway, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, I'm doing
I've pushed any books.
I'm doing the Audrina along with them. I'm starting Flowers in the Attic either today or tomorrow, so.
Yep. Wait, didn't I push you to read Beast Boy by just like sending it to your house?
Yeah, you've pushed me to read those Teen Titans graphic novels by sending them to me. You're currently pushing me to read Defy the Stars, and I'm going to be doing it. But
she
that's
has the book. She has my copy, and she's had it for months, and she refuses.
Yeah, Defy the Stars is an old favorite of yours. Your love for my sister's or my best friend's exorcism is that? Yeah, my best friend's exorcism makes me want to pick it up. What else have you pushed?
Yeah, because you're the main one I push books to, because no one else reads them.
Yeah. Yep. You've pushed a lot of books in our past, like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
And you've only read the 1.
I've read 2.
There's 6.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
The next question is the best series you started in 2020. And let's start. There's several parts to question 5.
I think it means 2021.
Okay, yeah. What's the best series you started in 2021? The best series I started.
Star Wars.
Star Wars for Rae. Hands down, that is the best series for Rae. What is y'all's best series you've read this or started this year? Let me look. I have a spreadsheet for this.
Oh my god.
How many spreadsheets do you have?
Shush.
A lot.
Shush.
Okay. So I think I am going to say there are 2 romance series by the same author, both of which I started in 2021. One of them I've finished now, I think. But they're both by Cat Sebastian, and they're both historical queer romance, like Regency era, I think. And one is called, the name of the first one is going to sound iffy, but it's called Seducing the Sedgwicks is the name of the series. The first one being It Takes Two to Tumble. But anyways, ignoring the names, it was actually a really fun and cute series. And I liked it a lot. Then I also started one that the second book isn't out yet, but I'm highly anticipating it, and that is The Queer Principles of Kit Wed. Kit, I believe is what it's called. That one was really good. That one, so the first 3 read more like the almost smutty, like Regency romances you might expect of that genre, but the second one felt more like a book that was more from today's lens and just set in historical perspective. Like, and you can even tell from the covers of the book, like the one with the Seducing the Sedgwicks is totally like cheesy looking, and then the Queer Principles of Kit Webb looks like a romance novel that would more likely be written today, a more mainstream.
It's really pretty. It's got like the cutesy drawn cover.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get it out of my stack because it's like buried.
Okay, so a book.
Oh, just cut me off. Why don't you?
Nice, Stephanie. This is also a good goal. I didn't finish many series, I feel like. The best series I read in 2021, I didn't actually finish many series, and I know there is a thing about series enders, so I think Kingkiller is probably the best. Name of the Wind is the best series start I've read, but as a whole, I've read series that I've given all 5 stars, where I didn't give both Kingkiller books 5 stars. Nevermore, that series is amazing. Amari and the Night Brothers. There's no other books in that series out, but I'm really excited to read them. Best series has been Malazan from Dylan. Nice. And Malazan touches a lot of lives.
Star Wars.
Star Wars does too. Okay.
What's the next part of the question?
Hold on. I want to see if there's any more series that I read that didn't start.
I don't think I've started a lot of series this year. I think it's been mostly solo books.
Yeah.
Like Jurassic Park was just a duologue.
And Jurassic Park was much better. I don't know. I think other than Star Wars.
Highlight.
I'm trying to think. Oh, The Bone Witch. I did that this year.
Yeah, you finished The Bone Witch this year. I think there's part of the question that will apply to that for you. Best series Stephanie started is Defy the Night. Yes. Fingers crossed Kemmerer can actually pull off the rest of that series, because Stephanie and I both loved A Curse of Dark and Lonely, and the other two books were not amazing. And the Heartbreakers Chronicles. You mentioned that earlier. Okay, the next part of that question is, what is the best sequel you've read in 2021? And I think I know mine. The best sequel I have read in 2021 is definitely Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. That is that's the Nevermore series. It's like a middle grade, adorable series, and Wondersmith is my favorite of the 3 that are out. There's also another book. I think it's gonna be like a 6-book series, but Wondersmith is wonderful. It is so freaking good. So that's my favorite sequel I've read. Yes.
My favorite sequel, I'm going to have to say, is The Archive of the Forgotten, because The Library of the Unwritten was like okay. Like, I liked it, didn't love it, but I thought that was one of the rare instances where the sequel was actually better than the original. That doesn't often happen for me.
Well,
but
you also said that for Sedgwick's.
I was getting there, but actually I wasn't going to do that for Sedgwick. I was going to say for the Girl Meets Duke series by Tessa Dare. First one was good. I really did like the first one, The Duchess Deal, but I think I liked The Governor's Game slightly more, maybe. I don't know. That was also a great sequel. Third one was iffy.
What's your favorite sequel of the year, Rae? And Dylan's is Malazan 3. Isn't that Memories of Ice? Maybe? I think it's Memories of Ice.
How is that a sequel if it's the 3rd book in the series?
They're all sequels.
Yeah. The last book in The Bone Witch, I really liked that one.
Okay, that one, hold thought on the last one, The Bone Witch. What's one in like the middle of a series? So like, what's your favorite like sequel Star Wars? Because if I remember correctly, you really liked the first Star Wars book, but it wasn't amazing. But everything else has been amazing.
The Rising Storm is like so much better. It feels much more Star Warsy. With just action.
Okay, let's see.
And then best sequel, A Court of Silver Flames from Stephanie. Yep. That's a lot of people's, I think. And then I'm glad I did say Memories of Ice. That's a lot of people's favorite. That's a really cute cover too. But yeah. And then the final part to question 5 is best series ender of 2021.
Okay, so hear me out.
I haven't read very many series.
Hear me out.
Okay.
I am not saying that this series was the best series I've read, but first of all, I didn't finish that many series in 2021, and the one I did finish, I've already mentioned. But the series that I'm about to talk about as a whole is bad and offensive, but very fun.
No, don't talk about the series.
But it's fun. It's fun, and I think that it ended in probably the only way the series could have ended well, and that is the Gone series by Michael Grant. It's like YA stuff that I started back in like middle school, and I just finally read the last one, which I think was the last one I was missing. But Light is the last one, and I thought it actually pulled together what it was doing in the series well. There were some parts that were iffy, but anyways, I'm reading a spin-off series now. I'm 2 books in, and I think there's 3. So
I forgot 2 series that I really loved the starts of this year. I didn't read any others in the series this past year, but that's The Bear and the Nightingale was an amazing start to a series, and Fireborn. And then my favorite series ending, I don't know if this is an ending. That is where I'm at, because I didn't finish many series this year. I can look and see if I have any 4-star series ending, but the only 5-star series ending I have is A Master of Jinn. Oh, Jade Legacy was a 4-star series ending, and that's going to be most people's favorite series ending because they loved it. But Greenboat Saga is not entirely my thing. The Evercruel Kingdom was also really good by Rin Chupeko, and I think Rae will agree with that.
I forgot about that series.
Yeah, but
you would like the Bone Witch because that's also by Ren Shapiro.
I should maybe try that. But and then but A Master of Jinn by P. Gillet Clark. So there's like 3 books in that series. There's like a short story too. But and I don't know if Master of Jinn is the end of it because they all sort of stand alone. Like there's a short story, a novella, and a novel, and they're all in the same world, and some of them involve similar characters. The first one and the third one are the most related, but like so it's hard to even call it like a series. But it feels like a completion of that arc that was started in A Dead Jinn in Cairo and completed in A Master of Jinn. But I'm not convinced that's the end of the A Dead Jinn universe. But at the same time, I don't know if I would call it a different series or not, because A Master of Jinn definitely had an ending to what was started in A Dead Jinn in Cairo. So that's the best finale I've read, and I don't even know if it counts as a finale. A Memory of Light, Wheel of Time, that's the final book in the Wheel of Time.
That you made it. I just started the first book, actually, in case you can't see. This is Eye of the World.
My copy, yep.
Well, you said it might be my copy.
It might be your copy. If you enjoy it more than I did, that's kind of the rule I've made Mason make with me. If one of us likes a book more than the other, and it's like, even if it's the other person's book, they get to keep it.
Which is ridiculous, because as I pointed out, we're living together next year.
Well,
so
who cares?
We share books.
Who cares? Anyway, Rae, what's your best ending? So, Bone Witch ending, you said?
That one was really good. Like, that is not really an ending you saw coming until that book.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... It was hinted at when I think about it, but it was so, like, lightly foreshadowed that you wouldn't have been able to call it out, which I think is really good writing.
Yeah.
And, like, Rin Chapeka, like, she has become one of my favorite authors because the Bone Witch, The Never Tilting World. I also read her Girl from the Well series, which was good. Yeah, that was like her starting series, so that one wasn't as good.
See, Stephanie, this is kind of how I feel with most series enders I read this year. The only ones that I mentioned were like the only good ones I read. Oh, there's one more, Drowned Country by Emily Tesh. That's just a short little duology, but I love Drowned Country, which is a sequel to Silver in the Wood, if you know about it. It's like a little fantasy novella. That was a really good ending for me. Mason didn't love the ending as much as the first one. But yeah, somewhere between meh and disaster is usually how I've handled series endings before.
The 2 most valid...
Enjoy, Mason. Enjoy Wheel of Time.
I hope so. Actually, I'm going to say the 3 most valid series enders, I think. This weren't for this year. I didn't finish any of these this year. Miss Pornera won, so that's... what's it called again? Why am I forgetting?
Hero of Ages.
Hero of Ages, thank you. That one was excellent. The Dark Tower within the series, that is an excellent ending. And then Breaking Dawn and Twilight.
Stop it! No, we're ending it right now.
It's the best book in the series, okay? It went out on a high note.
Okay, well, but you read all of those before this year.
I said that.
As Stephanie said, her highest rated is the Bronze Beast finale to the Gilded Wolves trilogy, but it didn't live up to expectations. Yeah, that is kind of... That's not how I feel about my highest rated finales, like Drowned Country and A Master of Jinn. But I do feel I feel that about some things that I've read this year that have ended series. So hard to end a series. It's really hard. Can you hand me my water? No. There's nothing in that. Can you get...
Oh my god, lift your laptop then. So
oopsies. We're a mess.
Okay, what's the next question while you're...
You look it up while you look.
Okay. Favorite new author of 2021?
One of mine's going to be P. Gillet Clark, because I have loved I've really enjoyed most of what I've read, but I also loved A Master of Jinn. And I have read multiple things by this author, like not just in the same series. Like I read Ring Shout as well, and I really liked that. So that could be a new favorite author. He could be a new favorite author.
I'll give you one guess as to who my new favorite author is.
Cat Sebastian?
No.
Austen Chant?
Yes.
Oh, right. You did read another Austen Chant. Cat Sebastian should be one of yours,
Cat
too, though.
Sebastian is a good author. I'm not saying that she's not. I'm just saying Austen Chant changed my life twice this year.
No, talk about the other book that Austen Chant wrote then.
That's a book called Coffee Boy, which is somehow even shorter than Peter Darling, which is already very short. It's like probably around 100 pages. I don't know. But oh my god, it is another story about a trans guy, and it's another romance, queer romance, and I just look every time Austen Chant writes a trans character, which is every book I've read by Austen Chant, which is 2. But every time there's a trans character, I am seen, okay? I am seen so hard.
Bye, Dylan. Thanks for coming. That's really sweet, Mason. Another favorite author of mine is Naomi Novik. I just DNF'd one of her books, so
Yeah,
obviously, okay, but here's the thing. Every author I read has flukes that I don't enjoy as much. Every single, Jane Austen has them, Brandon Sanderson has a lot of them, and I've read a lot. It's proportional to how much I read of the author. So I don't have a perfect author for me yet. And I don't really like to consider authors my favorite, like multiple of what they can do, you know? I don't really feel right saying that ML Wang. What?
No, I'm just messing with your hand.
Ugh, I don't really feel right saying that ML Wang. Oh my god, you had me saying Wang.
I didn't say Wang.
No, you didn't. You didn't, but you distracted me. ML Wang is one of my wrote one of my favorite books of the year, but I haven't read anything else by her, so I have a hard time calling her my favorite author. But Patrick Rothfuss doesn't have anything else but Kingkiller, but he would be on there if he had anything else that I could read other that's not Kingkiller. Do you have any, Rae or Stephanie?
Ren Shapiro. I've read everything but like her latest.
Yeah.
Works, and like I haven't totally hated them. Like Girl from the Well, I loved it when I first read it, which was years ago.
Yeah.
It took me forever to read the sequel to it though.
And
then when I did The Bone Witch, I flew through that series as well as The Never Tilting World.
Okay.
Because like you can tell that she grew as a writer just from going from Girl to the Well to The Bone Witch and then The Never Tilting.
Yep, you can. I like an author that grows. Mason knows this. But also another ending that we both read and liked, Rae, was Shadow of Kyoshi.
Yeah, Shadow Kyoshi.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of authors like this for me, Stephanie. Authors that have potential, but it's like their first book or the first book I've read by them, so I don't really know what to say about it. Hannah Witten is, I agree fully with this with Hannah Witten, because For the Wolf was really, really good, but like I don't know anything else. Like I need to see Hannah Witten do it again, because For the Wolf was really good, but I need more really good. So yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody else who I've read multiples from.
You read Michael Crichton's books.
I read 2, but he has a lot more.
Yeah, and you didn't love one of them as much.
Yeah, like it's not bad, but it's just.
Yeah, and it's the same series too.
Yeah, and then I know Calvin Scott. He does a bunch of Star Wars. Because he's written the script for, like, the manga and the comic. And then Claudia Gray. Like, I've been a fan of hers. I haven't read a lot of hers, because I read Defy the Stars, and then she started doing the Star Wars.
Yeah, and this year is the first time you've read something by her that's not in the Defy the Stars series.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like you've seen her in, not different genre, but, like, slightly different series.
Yeah, well, some people, they never change their genres. Because, like, Madeline Rux, I loved her Asylum series, but now she's doing sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
So, I gotta go, like, dive into that.
Yep.
Which, hopefully, it's good.
Okay. Best book from a genre you don't typically read or was out of your comfort zone. Ooh, okay. So, what are genres you don't typically read, Rae?
Romance.
Did you read any romance this year?
Contemporary.
Did you read any of those this year?
I don't know. Was Red, White, and Blue this year?
Yeah, but did you finish that? I don't know if it was this year.
I don't remember if it was this year.
It's best book in a genre outside of your comfort zone or a genre you don't typically read.
Okay.
Do you have one, Mason?
I don't know. I need to check.
Well, I didn't read sci-fi until I like really got into the Star Wars.
That's
like,
true.
You know what? I have
Gray's Defy the Stars, like kind of my introduction to that, because I've always done like horror and ghost stories before
and fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and you haven't read sci-fi since really Defy the Stars. That was a while ago.
Yeah, Defy the Stars was back in 2017, and then the Star Wars came out, and
okay, I have an idea. What? Okay, so this is a genre that I actually read a lot now, but I didn't start reading a lot of until 2021, and that's nonfiction. I started really getting into it. The first one that got me into it was an excellent book. It was called A True History of the United States. It was a book basically taking everything that you learn about America and patriotism and being like, this is why this is a biased take. So it was like everything that like public education in America takes for granted, like the Constitution, the different systems of government, like
checks and balances.
Yeah. Wartime, lots of stuff about wartime. It takes all of that and kind of like shrinks the logic down so you can see like, hey, why are we celebrating this? Actually, this is genocide.
So it like breaks down the propaganda.
Yeah, it was a really good book. It's a thick boy, but I really loved it. It was like 700 pages or something like that, and I blew through it in like 3 weeks, which was short time for me given that it was that time. Another one that I really loved in the nonfiction genre is The Gay Revolution by Lillian Vaderman. I'd read some Lillian Vaderman in college because I was a women, gender, and sexuality major, and she's a pretty major author there. But it was just a really comprehensive, like, queer history in America, and excellent stuff. Loved it.
I agree with this, Stephanie. The Bear and the Nightingale, stylistically, also out of my comfort zone somewhat, but it was really enjoyable. It was a great book.
Yeah.
You have one, Ryan?
Huh?
Did you have one that you picked out of your comfort? You picked sci-fi.
Yeah, but also I've done a lot of nonfiction this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mason, and I haven't like really done it before. Because like I've done a bunch of the paleontology books, which the last one I did, like I seriously don't know why I need to learn about this dude's whole sexuality and his life before you get to the part that he found the mini dinosaurs and figured out that the UK was islands during the prehistoric. Like seriously, they took me on a fucking roller coaster through World War I with this dude and his lover on a motorcycle. I'm like, I'm here for dinosaurs, bruh.
This sounds kind of cool though. Mine, Stephanie will know this one, but I'm pretty sure this is in her comfort genres. It's no longer in mine. I used to read a lot of YA contemporary, but then I don't read as much of it anymore. I don't fully know why. I think I just maybe got a little sick of it or read it so much that I was like wanting to read other things, or just like maybe I got really into fantasy. That was probably it. I got really into fantasy. But Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
That was a freaking great book. That's like a YA contemporary romance. And it's about this bi girl who she has this crush on her best friend, and her life is a mess. And I love how messy and real the characters felt, because her life is a mess, but she agrees to help this guy with his mess of a life and his mess of a dating history. And they actually are they kind of fall for each other. And it was just really good. Perfect on Paper. Sophie Gonzalez, the best YA contemporary that I've read in a long time. Oh, and also King and the Dragonflies. That's middle grade. I got into middle grade this year, actually. Nevermore, Amari and the Night Brothers. Nevermore was really out of my comfort zone when I picked it up, because middle grade was outside of my comfort zone. And now I don't consider it so much so. But I've had a lot of success with middle grade, but specifically fantasy. And then King and the Dragonflies is contemporary middle grade. And that is a combination that I don't think is really my thing at all, but I really liked it.
Yeah, Red, White, and Blue was not this year.
Yeah, okay, so that's
no.
Okay.
That doesn't count. I didn't do any romance this year.
Number 8 is most action-packed / thrilling / unput-downable book of the year. What is y'all's most? I know mine.
Look.
I know mine.
Okay, then say yours.
Jurassic Park.
That one was good. I did it twice.
Jurassic Park is a thriller, so like I feel like I have to say that for this one because it's a pretty like the first part is very slow, but I was engrossed the entire time. You know, like just going around the park, seeing like
everything.
Seeing everything was amazing, and then you get into the action, and it is so good.
Yeah.
Sophie Gonzalez probably would have been on my list of new favorites based off Perfect on Paper. Okay, yeah. At least she grew. That's what's good. I love an author who grows or I can see growth in, and my least favorite thing is when I don't.
Yeah. No, I had a lot of books I couldn't put down this year.
Yeah.
It's like
Whisper on the Lane, you read that so quickly. It was on your Goodreads, and then it was off.
I couldn't stop. Like, that was just, oh, that's a trip. Like, if you want to go on a trip, have fun.
The Name of the Wind. For me. Sorry, Rae.
Because Whisper Down the Lane, My Best Friend's Exorcism, Jurassic Park, The Rising Storm.
Two that I can think of right now, Fireborn and A Marvelous Light. When I put them down, like when I had to put them down to go to class in terms of Fireborn or to do something else like with like holidays and stuff with A Marvelous Light, I was sad. Like I was like, or like I wanted to switch A Marvelous Light and go to another book. And I was like sad. Like I could not do it. I was so attached. Oh, okay. I didn't know she had another book that she co-wrote with someone. I'm going to look into that because I really like her, and I really like the way specifically it wasn't just that the story or characters resonated with me because I don't think in another author's hands that book would have been as good. It was like the way she wrote the characters' interactions. Like I don't see it very often in YA fantasy, so that was very fun. Defy the Night and A Court of Silver Flames. Lots of people say that about Sarah J. Maas's books, and Defy the Night. I felt that way about Bridget Kemmerer's A Curse, Dark, and Lonely. That book was amazing.
Okay, so unputdownable, is that
mine? Thrilling, action-packed, anything.
Yeah, mine, I feel like I'm obligated to answer this. It's also the correct answer, but Under the Dome by Stephen King, I may have read 600 pages of that in one day.
This is your answer. This is totally your answer.
Here's the thing. I was on vacation, and I had just gotten an appendectomy. So we're at the beach. So as you might be able to imagine, I couldn't actually go down to the beach that often because my insides hurt.
Yeah.
So I just would hold up in our little like apartment thing that we had rented, and I was reading the whole time. Most days I'd read like 200 pages, but then I started reading the last 600 pages of Under the Dome, and suddenly the book was over. I read for like 20 hours straight.
Oh my gosh, Mason.
I've done that one before.
What?
I've done that one before. Finished a whole book in a day.
Oh, well, it wasn't the whole book, but it was damn near close.
Did you have any?
Yeah, but like that book's like huge. The one I'm talking about was like 300 some pages.
Is that The Secret of Clouds? You could not put down The Secret of Clouds.
I was thinking of what is it called? It's that one book that got the Netflix show. The Suicide.
13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, I read that in one sitting.
Wow. Okay, number 9. Book you read in 2021 that you would be most likely to reread next year.
Okay, well, I have 2 answers. One is Peter Darling, because yes. The other one is even more of a sure thing, because I've made a pact with myself to reread it once a year, and that's Red, White, and Royal Blue. This was my 3rd read through. I know it wasn't my first read through, but I did read it in 2021, and I am definitely reading it again next year. Because here's the thing with this book. Sometimes I'll think, like, is it actually like my favorite book of all time, tied for the top slot, or am I just like blowing it out of proportion? And then I get approximately 2.5 pages into Red, White, and Royal Blue on my reread. I'm like, nah, this is absolutely living up to what I remember. So that one never gets old for me.
I'm still thinking.
Speaking of thinking, what do you want for dinner? They're ordering soon. So what do you get them?
Okay, I'll tell you in a second. Rae, do you have any that you can think of that you would be most likely to reread?
Probably Jurassic Park again. Just to like
Jurassic Park. You reread that once this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I read it twice in 2021. Like, I finished it the day afterwards. I read it again.
Yep.
Is it raining outside?
I think so.
That is
It is
illegal.
literally raining.
Yeah, it's been raining here all day. Like, I had to take the trash out at work and I got soaked. It's not very happy.
You usually
What
get
other
that
books? I might reread all these Star Wars again.
This without chicken.
Whatever you doing.
They're ignoring the world.
Sorry, we're having an issue over here.
No, we're not.
Where my family's ordering dinner and needs an order.
I'm still trying to think. I don't know what I would be most likely to reread. I think the one I'd be most likely to reread is On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. It's because it's a graphic novel, and I think I could or Tea Dragons. I would be most likely to reread the graphic novels because they were the ones that were like feel good because they just like made me feel good. Whereas like I either want to reread something because I like the feeling of it or because I forgot stuff and want to re-experience it. And so I don't read generally the year right after because I haven't forgotten enough to re-experience it well enough yet.
Holy crap, it's definitely raining. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo if you have to.
I want this one.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Okay. Likely to reread for Stephanie, Chasing Lucky, The Heartbreakers Defy the Night Before the Wolf. Is that for the sequels for some of these? Do you guys reread books when the sequel comes out? Some people do.
If I forgot.
Yeah, if you forgot.
Yeah, because I know I didn't reread King of Scars for Rule of Wolves.
If you care enough to reread it. Holy crap!
The wrath of God is descending upon my house.
Oh my gosh. Stephanie, can you hear this?
No.
See, this has not been a problem with me historically, not because I don't forget, I do, but because I rarely had to wait for a series so often. But I will say I am glad I didn't reread Skyward for Cytonic because I think it would have made me enjoy a lot of them a lot less just because it would have been a lot of Skyward. But it had been a while, a year. The year from Starsight to Cytonic, the year and a month was a while. So like I feel like I will have to read Stormlight to reread the sequels. I will have to I'll have to see because there's a lot of first books I started that I'm wondering if I will forget things. Like the Jasmine Throne, I'm wondering if I'll be able to pick up the Oleander
because there's a lot of first books I started that
Right. I thought someone else joined.
No, I can't see the chat, and that's how I hit leave last time. So I was like, I'm just gonna pull it up on my phone so I don't fuck up again.
Can't hear the rain. Okay, well it was pounding. All right. Did you do this one, Mason? Did you do when you would reread? Yes, you did. So
yeah, favorite Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Favorite cover of a book you read in 2021. We're gonna have to look through our Goodreads for this, Rae. It just must happen.
Sort of.
But like, how can you not say Kyoshi?
Coffee Boy is pretty.
Because Six Crimson Cranes exists.
But Kyoshi, like even just Shadow of Kyoshi with Kyoshi and her girlfriend.
Oh, that one was pretty. I love so many of the covers of books I read.
Gotcha. Like Rule of Wolves has a nice cover. Not a nice book.
It does have a nice cover. I don't love the white with the gold, though. I think they don't match, and I think they're stupid. I think that Rule of Wolves should have been black, or King of Scars should have been black. Like, it should either be black and white, or King of Scars could be gold, and Rule of Wolves should have been silver. And I saw the UK cover, and it was silvery white. So that is what should have been done in the US, too, but it wasn't. It was just bone white. So it should have been bone white and black, gold and like black with like, because you know how the spine of King of Scars has like gold with like black burnishings? It should have been the opposite, like black with gold burnishings on Rule of Wolves. Or if we are really attached to the white, make it silvery white or make King of Scars black. And black would have been much better for King of Scars anyway, because I know Nikolai is like the golden boy, but he's
the demon king.
The demon. He's literally like grappling with shadow dark entity. Like
yeah.
So
my best friend's Exorcism has a great cover.
It's a fun 80s looking cover.
Nice.
And then the Ever Cruel Kingdom. That one's like really cool with the door opening and everything. Yeah, I'm looking through Goodreads right now. So
I have 3. One of them's a cheater because I've listed it like 7,000 times. But Peter Darling, cute cover, beautiful. Austin Chance, their book Coffee Boy also is a great cover, but I wasn't including that one. Then I would say Sword of Kaigen has a beautiful cover. Love that one. And then I would say A Radical Act of Free Magic, which is the sequel to A Declaration of the Rights of Magicians. That one is beautiful.
That one's a beautiful, like, white cover with, like... See, that's a duology, or the first 2 books in a series that did the white and black thing and did it right. Ugh, so good. But, my favorite covers of the book are going to be... What are you laughing? 6 Crimson Cranes, Bear and the Nightingale, anything by Margaret Rodgerson, Ronnie of the Sea. I have a really pretty cover of Name of the Wind. It's like the UK cover, but it's on a hardcover book. That one's gorgeous. It's very shiny.
Also, House in the Cerulean Sea and Song of Achilles for me are beautiful covers. I just said
obviously, I'm forgetting also the Jasmine Throne and the Nevermore series. I have the UK covers, and I think they are beautiful. Thanks, Rae, for your good vibes. Fave colors, Chasing Lucky. I've seen that one. That's the Jen Bennett.
Yeah, I was about to ask this.
Defy the Stars is a really pretty, like, flowery type thing. Mask of Mirrors has an interesting cover. It's, like, interesting. And Bronze Beasts, all of the books in the Gilded Wolf series are very, like, shiny, so I definitely get that. I want to look at Sometime After Midnight because I have not seen it. But what were you saying, Mason?
I don't remember. What was I saying?
I don't know. I thought you were saying something.
Did I say something? Oh, did I say something?
Oh, that's a cool cover. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Sometime After Midnight cover. Sinner by Maggie Stiefvater. Those are nice. They're like white with like pops of color. I really like pops of color on covers. But yeah, the Jasmine Throne has beautiful sapphic action. Rae, do you have any more pretty... Okay, so Shadow of Kyoshi and Ever Cruel Kingdom were yours, right?
Yeah, and Bestfriend's Exorcism. Almost Human. I really liked that cover. It's very simplistic with just bones. Yeah, since you ignored my YouTube comments.
Oh, I saw it. I just forgot.
Wow.
Should we move on to the next one? Okay. Yeah. Most memorable character of 2021, and this is question 11.
Oh, I didn't read any Stormlight this year.
Okay, I have mine. The ones I don't think I can pick between the 2 of these, but the first one is Kvothe. They're Kvothe from Kvothe. I see like it. I want to say like a mix between Kvothe and Kvothe. So he was really memorable. He was really good. I think at first when I started Name of the Wind, I didn't love him. And then I slowly, like, he got my sympathy, and then he got my, like, love, and now I, like, love him and miss him, and he feels like a real person to me. Oh, Sinner's the orange and black one. I think I've seen that one. It doesn't, the one that doesn't match the rest of them. I'm gonna look at it. But the other most memorable character for me is Annie from Fireborn, probably. Annie and Lee, really, but, oh my, those 2 were really memorable covers. Ugh. Those 2 were really memorable to me. So yeah.
Okay, so are we on to characters yet? Did we already say
we're
that
on characters.
All right. So my favorite, I'm just going through this quickly. Spensa is a great character. Spensa. Skyward. I've already read Red, White, and Royal Blue 1,000 times.
You can't say Red, White, and Royal Blue.
I am saying Alex Claremont Diaz.
You didn't read it. It's not a character. He's not a character of 2021 because you read it in 2019.
Alex Claremont Diaz.
He did a reread, so it kind of counts.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, I love Hero from the Hell's Library series.
The Library of the Unwritten and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hero's nice.
Let's see.
What about anyone from Cemetery Boys?
I was gonna say that, but since I couldn't remember his name, I decided that.
Yadriel?
Yeah, Yadriel. I like him a lot. I just couldn't remember his name, so I thought maybe for most memorable character that wouldn't be a great answer.
Well, if you remember him, you don't have to. Names are.
And
hard.
I also remember the other guy.
Julian?
Yeah, Julian, but I don't remember their names. I like both of those characters a lot, though.
Rae, your favorite character is obviously Belle.
Belle Zettifar from Star Wars. He gets so traumatized. Him and his charhound Ember.
Oh my god. That's so sad. What are your favorite characters, Stephanie? But yeah, continue, Rae.
He's not I don't know when he's gonna be in another book because he's not in the last two I've read. Or well, the last one I read and one I'm currently reading, he's not in either, and I need to check up on my traumatized child here.
That's really sad. That's really sad that you aren't getting.
Like, is he gonna be in the one that comes out this month? Like, maybe. I hope, because he's.
You need him back.
I like him.
You need him back.
Isn't too bad either.
You need him back.
Reese is also from Star Wars. Of course, we have good old Alan Grant.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian Malcolm. Just gotta always like Ian. I actually really liked how they did Sarah in the book over the movie.
Okay, yes, you did. You have mentioned the Heartbreakers as well, because I remember, I think it's the band. It's the band. But yes, Korik from Defy the Night. Haven't read it, would like to. Very cool. Do you have anyone else, Mason?
No, I'm looking for the next question.
He's already seen the next question. The number 12 is the most beautifully written book of 2021.
I mean, I could just say Peter Darling again. You know what? I'll say Coffee Boy. Switch it up a little bit. That was Austin Chant's other book.
Austin Chant. Do you think Austin Chant just has a great writing style? Then, like, do you love that writing style?
Yes, 100%. Red, White, Royal Blue, obviously, but I'm not allowed to say that apparently.
I think I gotta say Kingkiller Chronicles, just because I think I read some. Prose is not something I tend to notice very often, but I noticed and actually pulled out quotes from both books.
You know, it was a good one. It's Space Between Worlds. That had great writing. That was beautifully written.
Cool. What is your most beautifully written book, Rae?
Great question. I mean, the Bone Witch series, that one was really good. And like I said, it was very well written because I didn't see that ending coming, even though it was hinted.
Mm-hmm.
And just the characters. Reed, did you just, like, bark yourself awake? He's over there, like, whining and huffing and asleep, and all of a sudden his head jerks up like, what?
He woke himself up. Oh my god.
But yeah, even, like, the characters are really well written. Like, Mason would really relate to the one. To a degree. They're backwards.
What? Look at him. Look at him.
Trying to think. Beautifully written.
It's hard. Spinning Silver was also pretty beautifully written. Sort of Kaigan.
Whisper Down the Lane. I liked that one.
Roshni Chokshi. I've heard this about Roshni Chokshi. Oh, another one. Probably the one right after Kingkiller Chronicles where the prose impressed me the most was A Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Harrow. And the thing I've heard about Alex E. Harrow is very pretty writing, but A Spindle Splintered is not. A Spindle Splintered just has very poignant writing and very kind of to the point because it's novella and it's short. But the ideas in the writing were portrayed in such a wonderful way. So that's why that was very good. I feel this, not about A Court of Silver Flames because I haven't read it. But my favorite parts of Kingkiller were when Patrick Rothfuss is either talking about love or trauma and like poverty, grief, things like that. Wonderful. Okay, Mason, do you have one yet?
I have one more.
Oh, you already did Coffee Boy. Oopsies.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13. We all know Mason's for this one. Most thought-provoking / life-changing book of 2021.
Peter Darling.
Peter Darling. Let's just get it over with. About you, Rae?
Most thought-provoking and life-changing. Oh boy. That's a great question. I have a read. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm trying to think of something thought-provoking. And life-changing. This is hard. I haven't had very many of those in my life. So it's hard for me to come up with one like from this year, especially because I haven't had I've had very few in my life that have been, I felt were like life changing. And thought provoking, I don't know that I've read one that's been super thought provoking either.
Like Star Wars, I'm like their books definitely, because like you always have that fight between the light and the dark, and one of the main questions that has actually recently popped up in some of the previous books is like, why are we totally ignoring the dark side when the light can't exist without it? They're always, you know, yin yang.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like thought provoking for the universe, because are you okay? Got the hiccups.
Oh,
Baby. Good? Okay.
sometime after midnight or a quart of silver flames. It's so funny how we all keep saying like the same, like if you don't know what your favorite books are of the year, do this survey and you will figure it out. But Rae, continue.
Yeah, because like if you've taken like any Star Wars media besides even like the 6 first main movies and then, you know, the 3 outdoors that Disney made that aren't as good. Like they're good. I enjoyed them. But like they're on a different scale.
Mm-hmm.
But even with that, you always have, especially with just the fight with Anakin and him being led, and like I've been watching Clone Wars, which has him being led more towards the dark side and showing his downfall a lot better than the movies did. And it's just like you always have that question, is like, why are they ignoring the dark side? Like they are pretty much like, it's bad, it doesn't exist. It's basically how we're taught sex in school is, it's bad, it shouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Like hide stuff instead of confronting it.
Yeah, instead of like accepting it as a part of what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
like, it has those questions, and then you start to see kind of how the Jedi treat everybody equally, and then you have the ones that don't in the series, and you're just start to notice things.
What's the next question?
Hold on, I still need to say my thought-provoking book.
Oh my god.
Lillian of the Distant Sea is my thought-provoking book, probably just because it's a middle grade book that goes into a lot of different ideas in a way I've never seen a middle grade book do. That one also had very beautiful writing. Moving on, because someone is annoying.
Chill, Mason. We want to talk.
I just got distracted. I didn't know where we were.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, 14. Book you can't believe you waited until 2021 to finally read. Right? I know what yours has got to be.
What?
Yours has got to be Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
The book. What?
Yeah, because that one's been out for like ever and a day, but at the same time, I did try to read it sooner. So I actually tried reading it back in like 8th grade, and it was just way too far above my head.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, so Jurassic Park could be one for you. Well, I mean, see if you have another one, let us know. Do you have one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Percy Jackson series, considering it's been out for literally since I was in elementary school. Like, I read the first 2 when I was younger, but I didn't read any beyond that. But I read the whole first series, the whatever it's called, PJO. I read that entire series this year, and like it's not like it's a life-changing book for me because I'm like not in the right age range. It's not like, oh man, it's so good. How did I not wait till this long? It's more along the lines of, how did I not like read it when everybody else was reading it and wait till I'm fully 23 years old?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Besides Jurassic Park, I don't think I have any that I've really like waited on that actually like, oh, why did I wait so long?
The one that I feel similarly with you with Jurassic Park, like I waited a while, like long past I'd heard of those books and series. But I think partly it was because I was being influenced by less booktubers at the time. So like I was only influenced by like a couple, and so I was only picking up their recommendations. They didn't like this book. So I had only heard like lukewarm things, like lots of people like it, but not me. And so that's kind of, I had it in my head that I wouldn't like it. But The Bear and the Nightingale is one that I also tried to pick up a few years ago, like when I was like 19, so like 3 years ago almost. And yes, Stephanie, Bear and the Nightingale is on my TBR for years. I tried it and I thought it wasn't for me. I DNF'd it. Because I started the audiobook and I couldn't even get past one chapter because the accents were so thick. And I was like, I need to see this. Read it. And then I was just sure I wouldn't like it because I thought it would be I just didn't think it would be for me. Oh my God, Mason.
I'm cold.
Well, you are pushing over the computer. Look at him.
I'm sorry, I got cold.
But exactly this. The Bear and the Nightingale. I am grateful that I waited so long because I wouldn't have been able to appreciate it then just because of who I was influenced by and the medium I was reading it in. But it's also like it's been on my TBR for years. Jurassic Park's another one like that, like you, Rae. And then there was another one that I looked at. I don't remember what it was.
I'm trying to think of something else that's like been on my TBR forever today, but honestly, I don't know.
Oh, Kingkiller a little bit because I feel like there's a couple main high fantasy books that are like some of the big modern classics nowadays, like Sanderson, Liza Locke Lamora, and Kingkiller. A lot of those are at least pushed on BookTube, and I've read Sanderson and Liza Locke Lamora, and so like 2 years ago. So you would think that I would have read Kingkiller right after that, and I tried to, but never got to it. And never was able to pick it up, and so it's weird that I waited almost 2 years later to read the last fantasy classic of the modern era. Do you have one? Did you have more, Rae?
I don't think so.
A lot. I've noticed that my TBR has expanded a lot in the last year or two. Really. So a lot of the ones I that were on my TBRs years ago are not anymore because I've either read them or just lost interest. My gosh, read. Okay. Favorite passage / quote from a book you read in 2021.
I got mine.
Let me look at mine on the Discord. I have it in the Discord, but yeah, tell us yours.
Okay, so there's one from Peter Darling. These are really short. They're just ones I can remember off the top of my head. This one's from Peter Darling. It is, "You were a grown man and a nuisance." And it's it has nothing of substance really, except for the fact that Peter is being recognized as a man, just so casually, even though, well, I don't want to say that. But I love that one. And then, look, don't come for me, but Red, White, and Royal Blue, I can quote that all day. And my 2 favorite quotes from this time around is "History, huh?" which Selena got me a shirt for Valentine's Day that says "History, huh?" on it, which is it's a great quote in context. And another one, oh my God, makes my heart melt. It's and Alex is so in love he could die. That one runs through that lives in my head rent fucking free.
That's a really sweet quote. I remember it now. Do you have one, Rae? Because I have one right here.
I can't think of any.
Okay.
I don't have that good of a memory.
This one I remember because I just wrote it to the Discord and because I couldn't not. And it's from Kingkiller. I also don't keep track of quotes or favorite passages or anything. Mason's just reciting these off the top of his freaking head, which makes a little bit of sense because he's read one of the books 3 times. And then
I just read it a week ago.
And the only reason I have this quote is because I sent it to the Discord in the Kingkiller chat because I was so in love with it. But I'm gonna read it out loud. It's not really spoilery because it doesn't make any names, but also it's a very small detail of side characters that Kuok is talking about.
Wait, new question. How have I not talked about the gas station series at all?
I don't know how you haven't either. But so this is from The Wise Man's Fear. I don't know when. It was in the first third though. It was worth the whole awful, irritating time spent searching the archives just to see her fall in love with him. Just a little. Just the first faint breath of love, so light she probably didn't notice it herself. It wasn't dramatic, like some bolt of lightning with a crack of thunder following. It was more like when flint strikes steel and the spark fades almost too fast for you to see. But still, you know it's there, down where you can't see, kindling. And I just love that because, I don't know. It just, talked about the first, strikes of, something that could be between 2 people so well. I think he writes really well.
I got one, but I don't remember it exactly.
This is a good opening line. I also love from one Mason read, Percy Jackson, "Look, I didn't want to be a half-blood." Iconic first line.
I finally thought of one.
Okay.
I don't remember it. So, in the gas station series, there's this character called Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry walks into the gas station. There's people looking for him, and he's wearing a shirt that says "I'm Jerry." These people ask him if he's Jerry. He goes and takes one of the name badges from behind the counter, grabs it, slaps it on, and says, "No, I'm whatever the name is." And they're like, "Where'd you get the shirt?" "I found it." And then he just strips it off and chucks it in the trash.
Well, that's funny.
Jerry's great. Like, you would like the gas station series because they're not scary.
Yeah, they're just like fun horror.
Yeah. And then you have Jerry, who gets everyone drunk and high, and everyone just thinks that they hallucinate everything when they're not. It's great.
Okay, so this next one you will find in your Goodreads, your year in books. What is your longest book you read and the shortest book? My longest book is The Wise Man's Fear. That was 1,000 pages. And then I think my shortest was The Angel of Khan el-Khalili, which is like the short story that's like an extra in the Dejin and Cairo world. And that was like 30 pages.
Let me see.
All right, I got mine pulled up.
What's
so
yours?
The shortest is Star Wars The High Republic #4. It's their comic book. And it's the fourth one, only at 22 pages. The longest is Roll of Wolves.
Okay. So it's really funny because I really liked my longest book and you didn't love your longest.
Well, like, my longest book would have been Nosferatu, but I still haven't finished it.
So my shortest book was a play called Usual Girls by Ming Pfeiffer. I read it for a class. And my longest book was Under the Dome by Stephen King, which was 1,074 pages.
See, I want to read The Stand this year.
The Stand is excellent.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm thinking about doing the audiobook for it, but I gotta try it.
Okay. Let me see. The book that shocked you the most.
What does that mean?
Like a book that like you were like, I cannot believe where this is going. Like, oh my goodness, what is happening right now?
My Best Friend's Exorcism, Whisper Down the Lane.
That one Bone Witch book.
Mm-hmm.
The final book in that series. Longest for Stephanie was a reread of Queen of Air and Darkness. That's a long book. And shortest was Tales from Sand and Sea, which is a short story bind up attached to the Rebel of the Sands trilogy. That's cool. Do you recommend the Rebel of the Sands trilogy, Stephanie? I've seen it around. What, Mason? Were you saying something?
I didn't say a word.
Or were you motioning to me?
Star Wars.
Ooh, I got the one that shocked me.
Star Wars shocked you the most, too?
Like, The Rising Storm did. Because that one was a bunch of action, and, like, people die, and then people you didn't think would die died, and people who you thought would die didn't die, and you're like, what? But definitely My Best Friend's Exorcism and Whisper Down the Lane. You did not know where the fuck that was going.
So mine was that nonfiction book I was talking about, A True History of the United States. Oh my God, some of the stuff that was said was like by administrations, like publicly, was atrocious. I'm not going to pull out specific quotes because I don't want to get too political on here, but lots of stuff in there.
Aw, virtual hug from Rae to all of us. Very sweet. The most, oh my God, elbow cough. The most shocking book for me. One thing, okay, I'm gonna talk about a book because it was one of the first ones I saw, but Gideon the Ninth, the ending of that I did not expect. Like, if you know Gideon the Ninth's ending by Tamsin Muir, you know, like, what the heck was that? Like, it's not just what you expect. It's just completely different than, like, what I was expecting. It's like not, like, it makes sense, but also, like, with the way people talk about the series and Gideon the Ninth and what Gideon the Ninth leads you to believe about it, like, I was shocked. So that was very cool to be shocked like that by that book.
Hey, I did Strange the Dreamer this year. Hated that book.
Hated that book. Yes, she did. First book is average, but the other three are great. Interesting.
Can I just say that I did halfway read Muse of Nightmares? Like, I flipped through, skipping so many chapters, and I was just like, what the hell? Because it starts out with new people, and you're like, who the fuck are these bitches?
OTP of the year. You will go down with this ship. Pull them out, people. Who are your OTPs?
Oh God, my
Just go ahead and say it. Your romance.
Well, okay, we all know that Peter Darling, or Peter Pan, and Captain Hook, which don't worry, Peter Pan is an adult. I always feel weird explaining that. So that one was a great one. I know I'm not allowed to say it, but Alex and Henry from Red, White, and Royal Blue will always have a special place in my heart. I liked Yadriel and Julian from Cemetery Boys a lot. And I'm going to stop there because I've read so many romances. I want to say Achilles and Patroclus too.
From Song of Achilles.
Yeah.
My favorite romances of the year, probably the one in Fireborn, the main one. I was reading them. Read. And what is it? What was the other one? Ray's left us. There was another one. I literally just saw it. Oh, the one I just read it from A Marvelous Light. I really liked that romance. That was like my favorite romance plot and couple, but like Fireborn had my favorite like romance subplot of the year. Ray, do you have favorite romance? Isn't there one in Star Wars that you're really into?
That one, like, it was, cause like, Elzar Man was all for it, and then Avar Kriss was like she's not going to break her Jedi vows, like Elzar was all for.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not like a lot of romance in these Jedi novels.
What romance do you love from this year, or do you not have one?
From Star Wars?
Just any book.
The Bone Witch's main couple. Won't spoil anything. Because they really don't get together until later on.
Kyoshi and Rangi?
Kyoshi and Rangi, yeah. Trying to think.
Ooh. Red and Eamon were really good from For the Wolf. They were really good. They're one of my favorite romances that I read this year too. They have really good plot.
I can't think of too many because I've mostly done the Star Wars books.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the favorite non-romantic relationship of the year.
Belle and Ember.
Who?
Belle and Ember.
Who are they?
Belle Zenithar and his Starhound.
There you go.
It's like so great. Like he's not supposed to have that attachment to anything, and he's very attached.
Yeah.
And then Jerry and Jack. That's an interesting relationship.
Mm-hmm.
From the gas station.
I'm gonna say William Pitt and William Wilberforce from the Magician series, Radical Act of Free Magic, Declaration of Arts of Magicians, whatever. They look. I know they're historical figures, but they're fictionalized versions, and they. I'm not saying it should be a romance, but anyway, it's not romantic canonically, so I'm allowed to say it for this one.
I think that Bridget Kemmerer does really well with friendships too, as well. So, and especially I've noticed this more with friendships between guys in her books. Like I don't see too many friendships between girls, but guys, there's always bros that I really like. My favorite non-romantic relationships are Misaki and her children in Sword of Pagan, and the found family in this graphic novel I read that was beautiful, On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. They were absolutely wonderful. Sibling relationships. Yes. She does good. Bridget Kemmerer can do a good sibling relationship. Or like do a good like close, like pretty much friends. Pretty much siblings.
VC Andrews does not do.
It's not wrong.
It's not wrong. But whatever the siblings in VC Andrews' books do together is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong for that.
I'm trying to think of some more pairings, non-relationship, because there's actually a ton of them in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because, like, Vern and Wreath are really good. Wreath, I can't remember the other guy's name, but he and him were really good together. I can't remember all their names. There's so many characters.
We still have so many
Yeah,
questions.
we're not about to finish.
Yes, we can.
No, our food's getting here soon, so we need to...
Okay,
Just
roll
eat on camera.
rapid
I need
fire.
to eat with my family.
Rapid fire test. Rapid fire. Okay. Favorite book you read in 2021 from an author you've read previously?
This is great rapid fire.
From an author
I'm gonna say Under the Dome. That's the one. Or no, Song of Achilles. I'm gonna say Song of Achilles.
Song of Achilles from Maison. You've previously read Sorcery. Do you have any, Rae?
Let's go with The Bone Witch. Because I
The
did
Bone Witch.
technically read Girl from the Well before, years ago.
You did read Girl from the Well. I am the weak link. I am the weakest link. I do not know what I read from I read so many new authors. Okay, V. Schwab. I read some of her books in the past. Didn't love them, but I did read Tunnel of Bones and Bridge of Souls, the second and third book in her middle grade, and those were really good.
And Claudia Gray.
Claudia Gray, yeah, those are the Star Wars books you read from her. Defy the Night, Court of Silver Flames, and Chasing Lucky. Jen Bennett, Bridget Kemmerer, and Sarah J. Maas. Where is it? Okay. Best book you read in 2021 that you read based solely on a recommendation from somebody else, aka or peer pressure, or like Bookstagram, Book Talk, BookTube, anything like that.
My Sweet Audrina.
My Sweet Audrina, Allie pressured you. Anything pressure you? Anyone pressure you to read a book, Rae?
You.
What?
Ring Shout.
Ring Shout. I did pressure you. Yeah, but you also picked that off of my shelf and was like, yep.
Yeah, because I looked at the title. I'm like, huh.
You're like, this one's for me.
Yeah.
I really should have looked at some of these for Peter Darling. I wasn't not interested in it, but I probably wouldn't have prioritized it if it weren't Mason's favorite book. So we'll say that one. Newest fictional crush from a book you read in 2021. Misaki? Perhaps?
Me too.
Oh, new favorite character. I also really like Vasya from Bear and the Nightingale. Yeah, you need to pick your crushes.
Belle.
Belle.
We love Belle. My poor child.
Yeah, I don't have a crush on Vasya, but I really like her character.
I'm gonna say Kieran from Coffee Boy.
Kieran from Coffee Boy. Cool.
Belle. I think that's kind of it because I read mostly horror.
I'm happy I could help bump this up, Stephanie. Okay. Best debut you read from 2021.
Which of these few books were debuted?
So my favorite, I have a whole thing for this for 2021 releases that I read. I think I read like 30 2021 releases. A Marvelous Light was really good. A Spindle Splintered was really good. Six Crimson Cranes was really good.
Does it have to be debuted in 2021, or can it be ones that were debuted before that I didn't read?
No, 2021 debut.
I don't know who was debuting.
Oh, A Spindle Splintered isn't a debut, and neither is Six Crimson Cranes. So A Marvelous Light, I think, is a debut. For the Wolf is a debut. That was really good. I thought it meant 2021 release, but no, it means debut. Amari and the Night Brothers was a wonderful debut. Wonderful, wonderful debut. Jasmine Throne wasn't a debut. And Winter's Orbit was a wonderful debut.
Was I've Got Your Number this year?
No.
Spoiler alert this year?
No.
Damn.
Winter's Orbit was this year. Let me look through yours really quickly.
No.
Heart Principle was not a debut, but it was this year.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about debuts. That's what I was asking.
I think Winter's Orbit might be the only one you read.
Okay, Winter's Orbit. That's my answer.
Okay. I don't think you read any debuts. Fave character, Korik, and fave debut, For the Wolf, and Cast in Fireflight. For the Wolf is great. Okay, best world building / most vivid setting you read this year. Obviously, so Spinning Silver has a vivid setting, and Bear and the Nightingale has a vivid setting. Those are mine. Those have similar vivid settings, and they're both freaking amazing. So
say Skyward and Sword of Kaigen.
Skyward and Sword of Kaigen. Sword of Kaigen I thought about, but I wanted to get the wintry, cold settings. Jurassic Park was also very vivid.
That was
Yeah. Artemis was good.
The moon.
I'm gonna say Kyoshi's. Even though, like, we obviously had that
pre-knowledge of the setting from
Yeah.
Avatar. But still.
Yeah, the Star Wars is very vivid, even though you still have, like, that pre-mindset from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Unless someone's just, like, picking up the book and they have no idea. Some people have done that and they've left bad reviews. And I'm like, dude, Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
You're supposed to go in with some sort of pre-knowledge.
Okay. A book that put a smile on your face / was the most fun to read. I hands down have mine. Silver in the Wood by Emily Tesh and its sequel. The blissful, 6 hours I spent listening to those 2 books were absolute bliss. Just blissful hours. They were really fun. Also, Tea Dragons. Those were fun books.
Cemetery Boys and I had one more in my head. Oh, House in Cerulean.
House in Cerulean. Those both comfort books. Stephanie's favorite settings were Defy the Night, The Sound of Us, and Mask of Mirrors. I'm about to start the Mask of Mirrors. I'm so hoping I love the setting, and I'm so hoping I love the characters. Defy the Night, the more you say, the more I want to read it. I'm going to put it in my freaking TBR jar. So that next year, once I pick it out and read it this year, next year when I answer this tag, Stephanie, I will say that I picked Defy the Night up solely because of you, because of what your recommendations of it, because I was done with her and her fantasy after Curse the Dark and Lonely, but because we had the same feelings on those, and because you loved Defy the Night, I'm picking it up. It's happening.
Most fun.
Yeah, what do you have fun with? You read a lot of horror and crazy crap. Fun stuff for Stephanie, Chasing Lucky, Sometime After Midnight. Tons of, it seems like YA contemporary. I think most of these are YA contemporary. YA contemporaries are really fun. Perfect on Paper was also really fun. That was another one.
Artemis was fun.
Artemis, yes, you had so much fun.
Whisper Down the Lane was fun. So wasn't my best friend's exorcism.
In the most
Godzilla,
way.
King of Monsters was good.
What was it?
Godzilla, King of Monsters, the movie novelization.
Okay. All right.
Fun. Paranesi was kind of fun, and then it was also just kind of like a drag.
Shh, Mason. Okay. 26. A book that made you cry or nearly cry in 2021.
Oh God, Peter Darling! I sobbed like a baby.
He sobbed like a freak. He had a happy breakdown. Have you ever seen a happy, bittersweet breakdown from a book? Because this boy had one. This is good.
That's not what happened.
What?
That's not what happened. I can't say this guy's name.
Oh,
it's about the surviving victims of a school shooting.
Yes.
From the point of view of a girl who held her best friend as she got shot in the head.
Did you read that this year?
Yeah. It was at the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that one. But yes, I've heard of that one. Holy crap. And it's based on true story?
It's really good. It's really well written. There was tears.
Okay.
Another one was The Lovely and the Lost.
Yes, I've heard of that one. That one, yeah, that was the dogs, and she has the dogs to go searching for people in the woods.
Yeah. It's Search and Rescue.
Sword of Kaigen almost made me cry. I don't think I actually sobbed over anything, but Sword of Kaigen had me tearing up twice maybe.
Fantastic Land had some moments that if it went a bit more in deep,
it may have had you crying.
Yeah, but it's definitely more of a horror, but it's told from the survivors of Fantastic Land. A
Court of Silver Flames seems to have a range of emotions. It's on one hand, people say Sarah J. Maas is really fun, but also that book seems like it has some trauma that goes into. Okay. Hidden Gem of the Year. We only have 4 questions.
Okay. Hidden Gem of the Year. God.
I mean, Peter Darling is probably gonna be my hidden gem just because no one knows about it. So Peter Darling.
Either That's Not What Happened or The Lost and the Lovely.
The Lovely, yeah, the same ones you just said.
Yeah, because before I put all my comic books on Goodreads, one of those 2 was actually the least popular.
Gotcha.
So, and it was not bigger than the one Star Wars comic.
Gotcha.
I don't remember which one it was though.
I'm going to say Malice.
By Heather Walter.
Yeah.
That was a good one for you.
Yeah, because you DNF'd it.
I've heard this too. It talks about a lot more trauma stuff than some of the others. I know there was some of that in A Court of Mist and Fury, I've heard, but definitely talked about in a different tone, I think. Number 28, a book that crushed your soul. I don't really know how to interpret this question. I don't think a lot of people do. Something that crushed your soul. What crushed your soul this in a good way, I guess?
The traumatization of Belle's Odafor.
Okay, so any
White, and Road Blue.
There you go. Something that crushed your soul in a bad way, Mason, I think is Pure Nessie. I had one.
Too much credit for making me feel something.
I had one last year, and it was Anxious People. I don't think I have one that crushed my soul this year. I will keep looking though as we go on to the next question. Most unique book you read in 2021. Oh, do you have one, Rae?
For crushing?
Yeah, crushing. Hidden gems. Here's some more hidden gems.
When Belle's Odafor got traumatized, the ending of The Rising Storm, that was just, I had to FaceTime you for that.
Oh yeah, we had talks. Okay, most unique book of 2021. I'm gonna say I don't.
I'm gonna go with the Gas Station series.
I'm gonna say it was a book I had to read for class. It's called Sex is a Funny Word. It is a book targeted toward children with more inclusive descriptions of like puberty and like anatomy and stuff like that having to do with sex. And it's like I have never read something that is so like sex like positive for children. Like it's like it's demystifying all of it. And so yeah, I think it's kind of one of a kind.
My most unique is going to be Black Sun by Rebecca Rohnhorst because I've never seen indigenous like lore used for fantasy before. And I just think it did a lot of things really differently. And there was another one I thought of, but I forgot it. What did you say for Rae?
The Gas Station series, just because it's like such a strange roller coaster.
Yeah.
And
my other one is Lilani of the Distant Sea. That's like a middle grade like no other that I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, the Gas Station, you're just like, what the fuck? For like 90% of it. And you can read it for free. It's online for free. The whole Gas Station, Tales of the Gas Station by Jack Townsend. It's free. So
this next question I'm going to combine with what is your absolute worst book of the year, and it's the book that made you the most mad. And this could be a book that you liked, but some action that the characters took made you mad, but you were like, okay, that makes sense. Or it could be the book that you hated so much it made you mad. But also, I want to know what everyone's worst book of the year is. So yeah, definitely do that.
Pure Nessie.
Worst book. Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Journey to the Center of the Earth for you. But did Pure Nessie make you the most mad too, Mason?
No.
What made you the most mad?
History of the United States, but for different reasons, or injustices, or any of those type of things.
Yep,
lots of nonfiction.
Yep, the one that made me the most mad in that way would probably be Night by Elie Wiesel. This was so bad way, or this had some issues with it way, The Alloy of Law, and that's also my worst book of the year. This is harsh. This is harsh. I haven't read the series, so I don't know, but yeah, it's funny. I've heard a lot about The Damned and The Beautiful, but I have not heard much about The Righteous, and maybe that's because people are like,
Strange the Dreamer.
Oh, that is definitely yours. Is that your worst book of the year, or the one that made you most mad?
Both. Like, it was so hyped. Like,
I
was looking forward to it. People said good things. I actually liked the plot, and it just pissed me off. Like, it's terrible.
Yep. Okay, so that is the end of year survey. Do we have to go?
Yes.
Okay, we have to go. But
they're going to be here soon if they're not already.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Rae, for doing this with us. Let's see, The Beautiful is amazing. Okay, and it couldn't be redeemed. I was hoping the same thing for A Vow So Bold and Deadly, and
read.
But all right, that was 2021. That was 2021.
Here's to hoping for a better year.
Here's hoping for a better year. And tons of amazing reading. Oh, okay. It's really new. I see. Okay. We hope that everyone has a wonderful, happy new year, everyone. And I hope you have a wonderful reading year in the next year. Right, Mason?
Yes.
He is so done with me.
I'm not done with you.
He's just, his brain is done with doing the same thing for almost 2 hours. Right, Mason?
It's trying to not be done.
But it is. He needs food. I need to get him some fuel. All right.
See, I ate before this, so, I'm good to go for hours.
Yeah, we did not. So
That's your own dumb mistake.
My parents hadn't
Oopsies.
gotten the food yet. It would be dumber if we started making our own food and we're getting free food.
I mean, yeah.
That one. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. And I guess I got to end it here so we can go get this boy some food. And I will see you guys on my channel another time. And I will talk to you sooner, Rae, I'm sure. And I will see
I doubt it.
you on the Discord. I will text you immediately after this.
No,
Bruh.
you won't. You ignore my text messages 90% of the time.
Bruh, I don't mean to. I'm really just bad at it. Okay.
If you cared, you wouldn't be.
That's not true. Anyways, we can fight this out another time. Thank you all for coming. I'm gonna end the live now. Bye.